All right, let's go on to 11.6, multiple bar graphs. This time we're going to be using what we learned about last time in the bar graphs, and we're going to be building a multiple bar graph. And what these are useful for is if we want to continue what we were doing before and we want to compare data across different categories. We're going to compare. For example, in this one, we're going to take our example is going to be focusing on populations over time. And we are going to compare how some countries changed over time when they were building, and we're going to build a graph based on that. This is the data we're going to look at. We have our country. We have 1980. We have 1990. And year 2000. And we're going to be looking at just a couple of these countries. We're going to look at France, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Nigeria, and Pakistan. And in 1980, here's our numbers of our population. We have 55, 50, 65. And this is population over time, and this is in millions. There's not just 55 people living in France, there's 55 million. $60 and 57. In 1990, we have 56, 53, 78, 82, 65, in the year 2000, 65, 63, 80, 85, and 74. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a graph that's going to take a look at how these populations in each country changed over time. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more space than I did last time so I don't run out. And I'm going to build my graph down here. Now I have a couple of different ways that I can build this, but for me the easiest way is that I want to focus on each country separately. So I'm going to write my countries in kind of the order that I built them in my graph. So I'm going to start with France. I'm going to put the UK. I'm going to put Mexico, Nigeria, and Pakistan. And I'm also going to put my chart along the side. Now it looks like here my lowest number that I have total is around, 53? So I'm probably going to start my graph at around 40 or so. And then from 40, looks like the highest is about 85. So I'm probably going to go about 40 to maybe 90. So let's see if I go 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. That would actually kind of work. So let's start with 40, 45. Oops, let me get this centered. 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, and 90. Perfect. Now, the three things I'm going to be charting are the years. So I'm going to need to make a little chart. Otherwise, my bar graphs are going to be very confusing looking. So I need to use 3 different colors. So I'm going to grab 3 colors from my stack. And I'm going to have 1980, 1990, and 2000. And I'm going to use this color for 1980. Use this color for 1990. And I'm going to use this color for year 2000. So I'm going to do France first. 1980, it was 55. So I'm going to go like this. My first bar graph goes up to 55, representing 1980. My second one on this multiple bar graph chart is going to be 1990. It looks like it goes up to 56, so just barely higher, but still noticeably higher. And then France ends at 65. So I'm going to grab this, and for this third bar graph, I'm going to go all the way up to 65. And that lets me see how France changed over time. Let's do the same with the UK. Start at 1980, and the UK was 50. Now, I kind of screwed up with this line on the bottom. I should have ran it along the bottom. Let me draw a second line. Terrible at drawing straight lines. So we'll just pretend that other line isn't there. It's at least the best that we can. Use your imagination. UK in 1990 was 53, so grew up a little bit. And then lastly, the UK in 2000 was 63. On to Mexico. Mexico in 1980 was 65. Mexico in 1990 was 78. And Mexico in 2000 was 80. Two more left. Nigeria, 1980, 60. $1990, 82. And 2000, 85. Lastly, we have Pakistan, 1980, 57. $1990, 65. And year 2000, 74. So what this allows us to do now is it allows us to notice some trends over time. I can certainly agree that over time all of these countries increased in their population, but they increased at different rates. For example, the France and the UK were slowly growing in the 1980s and 1990s, but something between 1990 and 2000 increased their population significantly. Whereas in Nigeria, we can see a much higher growth between 1980 and 1990, and a lack of, or very small growth between 1990 and 2000. And this is much easier for me to see when it's drawn as a multiple bar graph like this than when just looking at a chart of numbers. The questions that you're going to be asked today are going to be using a bar graph like this to draw information from it, and you're also going to be building one. So go ahead and good luck. Pretty much everything else is for you to figure out and answer the questions as you go. Go ahead and good luck.